Hi guys, welcome back to the tutorial. For today's video, I'm going to focus on implementing the product catalog, product details, and also the categories. I have also been able to fix the issue I was having with the user icon here. With that being settled, now let's begin implementing the product catalog. For me to be able to implement the product catalog, I'm going to create another app to enable us to handle everything we will do inside our product application. So I'm going to set up the product app as usual by using python manage.py start app product. Now inside the product app, I'm going to implement the models that's going to handle our categories and also handle our product. Now that our app is set up, as usual, let me register it here. Product, save. Okay, let me close this. Now let's go to our product app. Straight up to the models. Inside the models file, we are going to build a table for product and also for categories. To be able to build our models, the different models I'm going to build, I'm going to import some necessary dependencies that I will need. I'm going to need files. So I'm going to import from Django.core.files import file. I'm going to use the file to set up our thumbnail because I also want to set up the thumbnail for our images in the product catalog. So I'm also going to import bytes 10 from IO import bytes 10. Then I also need pillow, which is a package for running images in Python. So I'm going to go ahead to install pil, which is a package inside pillow for displaying and using images in a Python application. Okay, let me open our terminal. I don't have pil. I don't think I have pil installed already, so I'm going to install pil pip install pillow. This will go ahead and install the pil library inside our virtual environment. Okay, now that we've installed pil, let's start building our model table. First, I'm going to create the categories table. So I'm going to use class category, then models dot model. Then I'm going to create our first file in our table name equal to models dot field mass length. I can use 250. Next on our table is, let me add the slug. The slug equal to models dot slug field. Okay, next let me create a meta tag, class meta. Let me use variables name plural for our categories so that we'll be able to see categories inside our admin instead of normal categories. Categories. Okay, let me also set up the ordering. Name should be the order of our table, so let me use name here. Next, let me set our database to be able to show as a string in our admin. So self.name. Okay, now our table is set up. Let me also go ahead to set up the products table. Class product models model. So first I'm going to have a category relationship between this model, which is a foreign key kind of relationship. So here I'm going to use models dot foreign key then category, which is our model. We want to have a relationship with both tables. Then related name should be products. Next, on delete models dot cascade. Okay, next, name of product should be the first models dot field. Let's also use mass length of 250. Okay, now that this is set up, let me go ahead and create our class meta as usual. Maybe I should. Yep. We use self at just same as this. Alright. Now that this is set up, let me go ahead and create the function for displaying price. After creating the function of displaying price, then I will set up the terminal. Def get display price. Yeah, there are other ways to actually handle this, but for now this is the way I'm going to handle this. Now let me set up the get terminal function. Okay, as usual, self. Now the first thing I'm going to do is if self dot thumbnail, then return self dot thumbnail dot URL. Okay, next, else no thumbnail if self dot image self dot thumbnail equal to self dot make underscore thumbnail. Now I'm going to create this make thumbnail function below, and you're going to see how I'm going to create that to be able to return the self image. Then we do self dot save. Okay, after saving, we will now return self dot thumbnail dot URL. Now to get thumbnail, just self dot thumbnail. Okay, else return the HTTP placeholder of a thumbnail. So I'm going to use HTTP yes 240 s 240 then s.jpg. This is going to return this for us if there's no thumbnail picture in our product. Okay, with this being settled, now let me create the make thumbnail function that I have called inside the get thumbnail. So make thumbnail self image, then size, we're going to set our size equal to, let's use 300 for width and also 300 for height. Okay, now inside this function I'm going to set our image img equal to img image dot open. I'm now calling the image function. Okay, this should be image and not images, so that this, yep. Okay, next I will also convert the image to RGB. After converting the image, next we use img.thumbnail, then we set size. Next, thumb io equal to byte. Remember we used byte library, we called on it when we were setting up this model. So I'm going to initialize the bias function that we are calling. Then we save the image img.save. We call on thumb.io, comma, then JPEG. We are going to be using only JPEG images here. You can actually convert different kinds of images. So no matter any images you use, it will automatically convert it. But I'm using JPEG here, which is usually the normal images. Then thumbnail equal to file. Remember, we call the file library. Then we started. Then we'll use thumb_io. Then call on name equal to image.name. We return thumbnail. Okay. Now we have completed the settings. Everything is good to go. What we did was we set up the category. After setting up the category, we now set up our product table. Inside the product table, we use category as a foreign key relationship, whereby if you're creating a product, you should be able to select a category based on the category that has been created. Then once you do that, you go ahead to add the name of the product, then the slug, description, price, then the created art will automatically set itself. Then you will add image, which will be converted to a thumbnail. Once that is done, these are the thumbnail functions. I have already explained that why setting that up. Now let's save our models.py file. It is time to go to our terminal to run, make migrations, and also migrate our data. Once that is done, then we'll build our function in our views before we dive into our URLs to now render our application inside our template. So I'm going to run python manage.py make migrations. Okay, it's going to go ahead to create the model category and also create the model product. Then next I will run python manage.py migrate to complete migration of our database. Okay, that is done. Now let's start setting up our views to be able to use the data we created. Let me open the views inside our product. Okay, I'm going to import get object 404. I'm going to use that, and also I'm going to use redirect. Next, I'm going to import the database from .models, import product. Let's set up the function for our product. Def product request, then slug. First, we'll get the product model. Product equal to get, this will be get object 404. That's what I want, not the list. We'll call on our product model, then slug equal to slug. Now next, I'm going to return render. Return render request, then product slash product .html product. Okay, the next thing I'm going to do is to go back to our product app. Let's create the templates folder. Inside here we'll create a subfolder, call it product, then we create product.html. Alright, now before I continue, I need to go to my URLs to set up the views of this product. I'm going to use the core URLs to do that. From product.views import product. That's the name of our views. Yeah, product. Okay, with that being confirmed, let's go back to the URLs in our core to set up. And here shop slash slug again, then we close the slug and we change this to product. Also here to product. Okay, now the product.html file that I have created, it's not time to start using it. First thing first, let me go to our index, copy the extend to save time, put it here, block content and block. Now let me start creating the template of our product. Let me create div. Inside the div, I'll create another div. Now inside here, img, this is where I'm going to put our image. I'm going to come back to the classes for our CSS. First, let me set up our product image. If product dot image, then product dot image dot URL, else show us the HTTP placeholder. Let me copy from models to waste. Let's not waste too much time typing. Then we end div as usual. Save. Okay, next I'm going to create another div here. This div is where I'm going to put the product name. Inside this div, I'm going to put h1 header, and here I'm going to put the product dot name. Next, let me put a paragraph. Inside the paragraph, I'm going to display the price. Now let's handle the description inside the same div. So let me use an if statement to control the description. If description, then p. Inside the p will have the product dot description. This should be product if product dot description and div. Okay, see, now our product.html file is set up. Let me set up the classes for our CSS. Mass width, let me use this X here, then mass auto, then flex wrap, then padding. Let me use 6 for the padding top. Padding left we use 6.2. Then for the large screen, okay, inside is the div for our images. The width should be full. Then margin button 6. Large screen margin button should be 0. Y for large screen 2 should be 3/5. Let me also add classes inside here. Our images. Inside the images, I will add shadow 2SL, then rounded, that's the radius. Let me make it SL. Then I can use background gray 100, then mass width the same 3SL, then mass auto, then padding 2, padding top. Let me use 2, that's too big. Padding left, let me use 4 for large screens. Then let me set margin to be 4 for all sizes. Okay, let me come to the product.name, add class info information width full, and for large screen the width should be 2/5. For large screen 2, padding should be 6. Let me also add for our header class, let me make the text to be 3SL. No, let me make it 2, that's too big for the product. Let me also add class for the paragraph here. Margin top, let me make it 1. Then the text, let me make it 400. For the product too, let me add class here, copy this, paste it here, but I'm going to change the margin top to be 6. Let me also change this to 800. Okay, everything is now set up. Let me save. The next thing I'm going to do is to now add this into our index. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to create another template for our product list that I'm going to use to display our product inside our index for product details. Then we will go to admin to add a category and also add products, then check if it's going to work. First, let me go back to the product, and I'm going to create another HTML template. Okay, so inside the product app, inside our template, I'm going to create another folder inside the product here, and I'm going to call it component. Inside the component, I'm going to create another HTML file called product list item HTML. Okay, now inside this product, I'm going to use this particular HTML as an include inside our index to show our product list items. So let me start setting it up. Let me set the div. Inside the div, I'm going to add an a tag, then add, let me just copy what I have in the product. Let me copy this. I'll remove this div, I don't need it. Okay, I can also remove these images here. What I'm going to do here now is I'm going to use the slug and also the thumbnail that I created to display the images. So instead of having the normal images displayed right this way, I'm going to display the image as a thumbnail. So I'm going to use a link. So let me remove this. Let me add a tag inside the href. I'm going to add a product slug, product dot slug. This should be a string, and let's close this. Okay, next let me now add img. Inside the img, I'll now use our product dot thumbnail to display the image. Product dot get thumbnail. Now let me add some class to it. Okay, the width should be full. Then let me make it rounded SL, that's the border radius. Then also add hover shadow to SL. That's too much, let me make it large. Okay, with this setup, the next thing I'm going to add here is now our product name. Let me copy the one I did here and make adjustments. What I'm going to do now is that for here also, I'm going to use, instead of displaying it this way, I'm also going to use an a tag. Then I'm going to use the URL product, the way I did it for the image. Then product dot slug, product dot name. Let me reset the classes of this. Let me set padding top to 3, flex, items, center, then justify between, save it. Let me remove this, close the div, then under it let me add a paragraph where I will add the display price. Product dot get display underscore price. Okay, let me add some classes to it. padding top, let me make it 1, then test gray 400 is fine. Okay, now with this setup, let's go to our server to create a super user that will enable us to be able to create and set up our categories and probably upload some product. Python manage.py create super user. Okay, let's call it Joshi Vibe. Okay, j@gmail.com. Let me set up the password. Okay, super user is created. Now let's run the server again. Okay, let's go to our browser to run our admin. Joshi Vibe is our username. Log in. Okay, we're able to log in and we now have a user, but we cannot see the details of what we have done because I have not set up the admin.py. So let me go ahead and set up the admin.py file to be able to display the details of what we have set up in our admin here. Okay, inside this, let's register our model from dot model import product category admin dot site dot register category admin dot site dot register product. Okay, now let's go back to our admin and refresh. You can see our category and product models are showing here. So let me go ahead and create a category first. I'm going to create a category provisions. Save. Alright, so we've added a category. Let me go ahead and add a product. Provision is there, so I'm gonna call this Tin Milo. What are we gonna put as the description? Okay, the best choco drink that's healthy for you. Okay, let me add the price as 8,000. Let's go to our admin. Let's download the shopping milo.orp. Okay, let's save it. Now let's open this. You will see that we have been able to set this up. Now let's go back to home and open our browser and see what we have, if our product is showing. Okay, our product is not showing yet because I have not added the product items that are set up. I have not included it in our index.html file, so I have to include it here for you to be able to display. So I'm going to go ahead and include it right away. So let me create another div here. Inside the div, I'll create another sub div. Now inside here, I will do for product. In product, include product slash component slash product underscore list underscore item .html. Okay, and 4. Now let me add classes here. Class, let me add ms auto, then mass width 3SL is fine, then padding top 10, then padding left, let me use 6. Then for large screens we can do padding left to be 0. Why? Let's use margin of 4, shadow to SL, fine. Then let me set the background gray to 100 as usual. Then let me set the rounded SL, that's the border radius. This padding top is too big, let me set it to 2. Save. Let me also add class here. Inside here I'm going to add product flex item center, then flex wrap, then let's close the div. Save. Let's test run, go back to the server, the browser, to run and see if we'll see our product now. Okay, the product is not showing. That means something must be wrong somewhere, but as you can see we have a space right here. This is where the product is meant to come, but it's not showing. So I need to check and confirm what is actually wrong with it. So I feel like I made a mistake somewhere, so let's go back and see. Okay, what could be wrong? Okay, let me look at the views of the core. Is there any challenge? Views for core. Okay, I'm also meant to add this slug that I added here, and also import the modules that is inside the views of the product inside core to be able to use it in the index.html file. So I'm gonna import from product.models, import product. Let me also import category. Let me use it here. Product equals to product dot object dot all. Then I want to get the first 8 products inside our product to be in my front page. So I'm going to get 8 products. Those are the first 8 products are going to be the ones that will be in the front of the index page. That is the point of using the list to list out the product. You can increase the numbers if you want. Okay, let me even make it to be 10 instead of 8. Yeah, okay, so now let me add the product as a dictionary here. Product. Okay, now let's go back and run our server again to see. Yes, now we are able to see the product, but we cannot see the image here. Okay, let me go back to my models. I think there might be a problem from the models. Okay, image open. Okay, this is not open, it should be image. Okay, save. Let me check if our thumbnail is working. Yeah, thumbnail is working. The uploads, we now have a .thumbnail file here. Okay, so that means let's go back and check the browser. You're going to see still not showing. Where could the problem be? Okay, let's go and check the URLs of our hublet, which is the main URLs. I think there are some things I need to put there that I have not added so far. Close down all this hublet URLs. Okay, yeah, so I need to be able to set the static media root in the URLs and also import it directly from settings to be able to display the media files. So to do that, I'm going to import settings here on the URLs, then set the static folder inside our URLs patterns. First, from Django dot config import settings, then from Django dot config dot URLs dot static import static. Okay, now here I'm going to set the static media root by using static in bracket settings dot media, this should be in capital letter, media underscore URL, comma, then document root equal to settings dot media underscore root. Now let's save. Let's go back to our browser to see if our thumbnail is working. Let me refresh. Okay, as you can see, the product is showing. This is the first product we have added, and we can be able to see it. Here is the price, the tin Milo. Now if you click on the Milo, it will go ahead to direct you to the product detail where we have, this is the best choco drink that's healthy for you. So yeah, I have been able to set this up. We now have a functional product details in our e-commerce website. Let's go back to our to-do list and tick this to be done. Done. Let me do it from here. Product details also done. Categories is done. In the next video, we'll be discussing and also setting up the search functionality, reviews and rating, then probably the shopping cart, then checkout. That's all for now. See you in the next video. Bye.